Hello guys, this is the first video on this channel. My name is Biraj Bhagat and today I'll be teaching you the most basic stuff which you need to learn if you want to start beatboxing. So let's go. So this video is divided into three parts. First, we're gonna learn how to do the basic kick or kick bass drum, and secondly, we're gonna learn how to do the open and close hi-hats, and third, we're gonna learn the most basic percussion and one of its variants. So starting with the first sound, which is the bass or the kick drum, it sounds like. To produce this sound, what you're gonna do is create a bubble of air in your mouth and force the air through the center of your mouth and trying as hard as you can to close the both ends of your lips. So it will sound like, you can look into my lips how I'm doing this. I'm creating a bubble of air in my mouth and forcing the air through the center of your mouth, so it will sound like this. Now a few things to keep in mind while doing this, that your sound shouldn't be that airy. Like if you are trying to do this, just reduce the amount of air you are pushing, and it's that simple, and you will get this sound in no time. This is the easiest sound that you can learn while beatboxing, but it takes 2 to 3 days. Don't worry about it. So moving on to the next sound, which is the closed hi, which sounds like so to produce this sound, what you're gonna do is put the tip of your tongue behind the teeth of your upper jaw like this, and just create a little bit of pressure on the teeth and leave the tongue backward, so it will sound like. So this was the first way of learning the sound. Second way is the like you will get it. The second way is to pronounce this word TSI, which is showing on your screen. So when you will pronounce this, how will you pronounce this letter? First you're gonna pronounce the T, and then you're gonna continue with the SI. So to combine this, when you will combine this, it will sound like. You will get it. Just practice it in 1 or 2 days. You will get it. Now let's learn some patterns with these two sounds which we just learned. So first pattern is. Second is. Just practice these two patterns and you will master these two sounds in no time. So the next sound we're gonna learn is the open hi-hat, which sounds like. And now this sound is very similar to the closed hi-hat. What you're gonna do is just put pressure on the T and continue this SI longer, so it will sound like. And in the end, just do a like audio fade out. Like reduce the volume of the sound a little at a time and just come to a stop eventually. Now let's learn some patterns with the sound we have just learned. So the first one. Second. So moving on to the next part of the video, which is the percussion part. In this part you're gonna learn, there are lots and lots of percussion, but we are gonna learn the PF snare and the heavy PF snare. So PF snare sounds like this. To do this sound you're gonna learn two sounds. The first sound is the bass drum, but with a little variation. Which you're gonna do is, when you will do, what you're gonna do is put an I after the B, which will sound like. Just try to pronounce P with like a very force on it, but don't use a lot of air, just use a little bit, like the bass drum part where I just shown. After that, what you're gonna do is the second sound is F. Just say F without the vocalization, so it will sound like. Just put the teeth of your upper jaw into the lower lip and just push air. Now if you will combine these two sounds, it will sound. and then let's learn some like patterns with it. So the first pattern is with the most basic hip hop beat. And the second pattern is moving on to the next sound, which is the heavy PF snare. This is also an easy sound. What you're gonna do is just put pressure, like a lot of pressure on the P, but don't exhale a lot of air, and as a result your sound will be a little airy. Don't do that. Just put a little more pressure than you put earlier, so it will sound like. This is really common in if you're doing a beat which has a very low tempo, like 80 to 90 beats per minute. So like if you're doing a beat, it has a very low tempo, but if you have really raised the amount of tempo, then please don't use this snare, as it's really hard to do fastly. So yeah, the PF snare with a little bit pressure on the P. This is the heavy PF snare. Now let's learn some patterns with this. The first pattern is the most basic hip hop beat. Next is so these were all the sounds which you're gonna learn if you try to start beatboxing, and this is the basic stuff I've shown. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment what sound you want to learn next, and I'll surely make a video about it. So thanks for watching. Goodbye.